So we're going to talk about highest and best use here for a minute. What is the highest and best use of a property? How do you determine the highest and best use? I'm here in a commercial shopping center that has a Wegmans, it's got a Dick's, a Field and Stream, it's got a movie theater, restaurants, retail. Pretty big site, I don't know, 30, 40 acres, $150 million project development here. So how do you determine what the highest and best use is for a piece of land like this? So you take a look in your area, in your market. Obviously we have a couple of movie theaters already, we have grocery stores, and we have all of these other uses. But in this particular area, this side of town, there are a lot of houses built, a lot of apartments that have been built, a lot of rooftops have been delivered, and we did not have a Wegmans. So the developer had a connection with the Wegmans. That's an anchor tenant that they brought in that's going to drive a lot of traffic to the center, just like Dick's and Field and Stream does. So as a developer, they said, well, we have these anchor tenants we can bring in and make this a commercial development and really drive a lot of traffic to this side of town, because there's really nothing serving this side of town, but there's a lot of rooftop and there's a lot of expansion and more rooftops in the pipeline right now. That was how the decision was made to turn this into a commercial center, pretty big center, as opposed to building another residential or mixed use development that had residential and commercial, because this was an area where a lot of residential was already in process and no commercial was being delivered. So you really got to take a look at the area, take a look at what's going on around the area. Can you land anchor tenants if you're going to do a commercial project? Even if it's a small strip center, you still want to have some anchor tenants in that strip center, like a Starbucks or a Chipotle or a pet store, PetSmart, Hair Cuttery, somebody who's a national tenant that the chances of them closing are going to be slim, and they are recession proof. Here we have a grocery store, we have movie theaters, we have small restaurants and shops that pretty much in any economic climate or environment, they're going to continue to do well. So when looking at the highest and best use for a property, you want to look at what is around the area, what's the demand, and if you're going to do commercial, can you get an anchor tenant or recession proof, Amazon proof tenants to fill spaces in that center to drive traffic? That is some more in-depth viewpoints on how to determine highest and best use of a property.